and heading to the barn. Well, to the farm. No, I'm at the farm. Oh, okay, no harm. All right. Okay.
We just finished up yellow peas, which means we're switching to wheat. So we have 2 hopper bins that have wheat in it and one that does not. The one that does not requires the grain vac. Well, since the Magnum tractor is out of commission, we're gonna use the 4520 to hook up on that VR12, pull the wheat out into 2 semis, and then we can park the VR12 and we don't have to do this otherwise. So yeah, let's go grab some semis. I'll drive this thing over this building, pick up the VR12, and let's move some wheat.
And I'm the wretched guy. We have to take a bolt out of the bin.
I hope you guys are happy, because this is like killing me right here, guys. The puns are getting ridiculously awesome. Bin over here probably has about 1,700 bushels in it. So we'll suck that out into the trucks. That way we're not dealing with this during seeding, because this is kind of a hassle. So anyways, let's run it. There's a little bit more left in the bin. That truck and that truck needs to be moved so we can get the truck out, or the semi truck out. So, start one truck, start the other truck. I think that one needs a little ether.
That's called liquid start.
Will it start? Ooh, ether smell. Come on. There we go. That truck started. Now we got to start the 9370. Very, very rarely do we ever have to put ether in this thing to start it, and that's really cold.
Got the bin empty, the seed in the back of this truck, and heading to the barn. Well, to the farm. No, I'm at the farm. Oh, okay, no harm. All right. Okay, there's a beautiful sunset. Yeah, kind of a cap for the day. Well, I got a hat for the day. All right, we'll see you in the morning.
Looks like the guys are getting the Apache out. I think we're going to try to knock out more acres if possible ahead of the air drills. So I'm still working on the peas. Got about a third done. I'm at currently 992 acres covered, and So far, this sprayer is running like a top. All that work we put into it, I think's paid off. That's always nice. Now, I'm currently spraying perpendicular to the seeded path and rolled path of the field. It's just the way it lays out. It's kind of an L-shaped field, so I do this long end first like this. Well, it's a rough ride. So I'm going across the tire tracks of the big buds and all the big buds, actually. I changed those hydraulic accumulators on the hydraulic cylinders on these booms because I felt like these booms were just pretty solid. There wasn't much give. You hit a bump in the whole boom and it shattered really bad. It was like almost $500 in parts, but I think it paid off another thing because the boom's floating. Watching it, and it's doing a lot better job maintaining a level balance up and down. That's good. Whoopsie. I think I'm a little bit on the full side. I think I just got here right as it went over. I had the guys turn the water on for me because I was in the field and I got delayed a little bit. And well, yeah, it's full. All right, I guess that's a good way to know. Let's fill a sprayer. Now, this unit here is called the MixMate. This is from Praxidine. Really good family out of Iowa. They've been making these units. It's an automated product mixing setup to fill your sprayer with all the products that you want automatically. It's pretty cool. I'm still learning it, so I'm not gonna go full into depth yet because once I get the feel of it, then I feel I can explain it better. But right now I'm using it to load my sulfentrazone into the sprayer with water, so that way we can spray the peas. But let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, we're on Spartan Yellow Pea Pre-Spray. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the Fusion inductor. Correct, 1,600 gallons what we want in the sprayer. Now let's fire some pumps up real fast. There we go. There we go. Now we're gonna connect to the MixMate. Connect. All right, so first up, we got to put the Spartan sulfentrazone in. Right now, there's nothing in there, so I'm going to pour some in the induction cone. All right, let's do a go ahead and rinse. We'll go around that. Hey everyone, it's a good morning to start working again. We're pretty close to doing wheat, and it's gonna be nice and warm the next couple days. I've got a lot of pea spraying left to do. I'm only about a third of the way done. Just over 1,000 acres knocked out with the brood. It's slow going, but we're gonna switch over to putting some glyphosate down for pre-spray, so that way we can get some wheat acres done. So I gotta do some more adjusting on the MixMate. Right now I've been only using the induction cone for the sulfentrazone, but for the glyphosate, we'll be using the totes, which will be nice, and it'll really put that MixMate and show how well it works. So we got a tote of some surfactant up on top of the bathroom up there. That's gonna go on here. So I guess the plan is we gotta run everything out. The Apache's going and bust some acres out. It'll be quick going. And then we got acres we can plant because we wanna get some spray down, make sure that that ground is clear of anything growing before we start planting into it. So let's move some stuff around. Okay, well, I think we're good. Both sprayers are full, and I'm gonna start knocking out some more acres. This kind of acre spraying though is awesome because it's 5 gallons an acre. I was doing 7.5 earlier, and I'm gonna go twice as fast. So instead of 10 miles an hour, I can go like 18 miles an hour, and my tank will last just as long. It's great. Let's go. Big root for the win.
Well, when we first started the season, kind of noticed a funky sound when I let off the gas. Thought it was the brakes. Then it sounded like a hydraulic pump under the cab was whining. I was like, well, I don't remember doing that. Well, Leg Arms heard me coming in the yard. He goes, man, your brakes are squealing. And I'm like, my brakes aren't on. He's like, oh, it's definitely your brakes. And we checked. No, the brakes definitely aren't on. So I had him ride around with me a little bit as I was letting on and off the gas as he was standing on the fender. And he's like, hey, go back to the shop. And it's like, check your turbo. I'll take a look at it. I'll show you guys. This is the turbo. And there is a lot of slop in that, in the bearing there. That bearing's going out and it's rubbing into the sidewall of the turbo housing. So, in layman's terms, turbo's dead. We're just about to. It's on its dying breath and we need to replace it. So we gotta make some phone calls, see if someone's got one on the shelf in the area, and if they do, we're gonna take off and get it and do a turbo swap. It's okay, buddy. We'll get you a new voice soon enough. Bad timing, because it's great spraying weather. I might, though, just keep running it for a little while, though, and just see how long it goes, but we'll at least try to find a turbo. All right. We'll find out. Well, we decided to keep running it. It's going out. It's not completely shot yet. We got one on order. It won't be here till the middle of next week. So we're gonna try to get some acres done. I'm just gonna keep running it. Hopefully it doesn't just go out on us, but we'll find out soon enough. I think we'll be okay. Get some acres knocked out. That's the plan. That's what we want. Acres knocked out. Because there's weather moving in this weekend and we've only got 2 days before it gets a little bit of rain or snow. So we'll see. Stay tuned. So I'm just cruising right along. About 16 miles an hour, putting on about 5 gallons an acre, a little bit under that, pretty close. There's not a lot growing out here. I'm looking at this ground and I mean, I can count on my hand the number of times I've seen a green plant. There could be little things growing. I've looked, I don't see it. I'm sure there's stuff out there, but at this point, it feels kind of like unnecessary to blanket the ground with chemical, hoping to kill whatever's out there when there's just nothing there. So we're just spraying the perimeters of the fields. The edges are usually where stuff grows, and that way when you seed up next to your next crop, you can make sure at least it's clean. We'll just do this, I guess, and see. I don't know. Get a game plan. Meanwhile, the turbo's making a little more noise. It's singing to me. Not the way I like it, though. I don't know if you can hear that, but it doesn't sound great. I probably shouldn't be driving this thing. I mean, worst case is it goes out, I lose all my power, I limp it home, we shut it down. Best case is it keeps running for a while. Keep pulling off into the field so I can pass him on the road because I go way faster than he does. Isn't he just a nice guy? That's Dad. Plus this road isn't wide enough for the both of us. I just saw a goose fly randomly out of the field. Goose was obviously being really careful with being seen. That only means one thing. That, well, there's an egg or 2 or 3 in a nest hiding somewhere in the field. So I carefully stopped the sprayer and walked around until I found it so I didn't drive it over. Those are huge eggs. I'm not touching them, don't worry, but look at the size of my hand of those eggs. I think that's a Canadian goose. Anyways. Cool. That's kind of fun to see. I won't tamper with it. Gonna let it be. But there'll be some chicks here not long. All right. I'll get back to what I do. Okay, I just ran out. That's it for the night for me. And probably big brute for a couple days. We'll see. I don't know if I'll run it tomorrow. The turbo blows. There's a couple things that can happen. I have never experienced a turbo blow, but I know fragments technically can go inside the intake and ruin the engine. It potentially can break the seal to the positive oil pressure, which feeds the turbo bearing, and then it can go into the intake, which then can cause a runaway engine. Or it could just blow up and basically detune the engine, and I'll be in limp mode, basically limping my way back home where I parked anyways. I guess, no, I take that back. We have had one turbo go on a Magnum. Our 8940 that we had, we can sell that tractor. It had a turbo blow up on it, and it just went to limp basically. It lost all its power, lost its boost. We just took it home, put a new turbo on it, and it was good to go. So, but let's bring this girl back. Let's park it. I guess I don't want to destroy a $15,000 engine. Well, being that it's still freezing at night, I gotta run her inside. And this thing is such a tight clearance. And get the last nozzles in. A little bit more. Good. Parking brake set. neutral, and an engine shut off. I do love that sprayer. The thing is very unique and very functional and fun to run. It's just got the power, the way it maintains its speeds, the way it floats. It's a sweet machine, it really is. And I'm not tooting our own horn. It was a great design by Case IH and Tyler, but turning into a sprayer was an excellent idea. Thanks Wall Farms for giving us that idea. All right, I'm going to bed. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Another day, another acre of spray. I'm gonna leave Big Brute in the shop. I just don't want to risk the turbo coming apart and shooting chunks through the intake into the intercooler and who knows what else, or possibly blowing oil in the intake, causing it to run away and who knows what else. So it's gonna stay in the shop for a few days, which means I get to run the Apache because the other guys are gonna probably start seeding again today. So let's go get the Apache out. Let's get this truck out. It's warm enough outside that nothing's gonna freeze. We'll get those peas done because there's weather coming tomorrow. And if I can get those peas done, the pre-emergent chemical I'm putting down is activated by water. It's an Apache. It's a little different, but I'm remembering it's coming back to me. I haven't really put a lot of time into this in the past 2 years. When the Brute hit the scene, that's kind of been my go-to. That's okay though. If everything goes smooth, we don't lose any more turbos, theoretically, I should finish everything today. That would be excellent. Stay tuned, we'll find out. On another note, my neighbor's farming next to me. You guys want to buzz him with a drone? Oh yeah, of course. Let's get him. Just get the feel of it, and I see a nozzle that's not spraying very well. Let's go investigate. That is definitely an issue. I can only see probably about 80% of the sprayer. Excuse me, beeping at me. I can only see about 80% of the sprayer boom because the rest of it's behind me. So I don't know if my nozzles are plugging, if there's an obstacle in there that's causing it, the spray pattern to be wrong. But I gotta keep an eye, so I'm constantly watching the boom to see if I notice a irregularity, and then I go and address it and investigate it and find out what's going on. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not the most convenient not knowing what's plugged and what's not. And then I gotta kind of evaluate, so okay, which nozzle was it? I was looking in the cab. Well, I knew it was by these shock absorber springs right here, and I thought it was on this side of it, but it could have been on this side of it. So now I gotta probably take off 3 or 4 of these to try to find which one was the one that was spraying bad, because this is a 100-foot boom. So when you're in that cab, it's kind of hard to pick from the cab which one is the one that's got the problem. There's no indicator saying, hey, this nozzle's got problems. Got it? All right, let's investigate. All right, it was a little piece of gravel or tiny speck of sand or something that was caught in the nozzle. Clean it out real easy, but watch this. Look at this boom. See that? I'm not moving it, the wind's not blowing. Something's going on with the auto leveling on the hydraulic suspension on this Apache. I don't know, the first time I noticed it, I just started running this thing, but it auto levels depending on where it senses the axle orientation with the frame of the sprayer. Well, something must be going on right here with this unit. it's either leaking fluid somewhere or the sensor's got problems, but as you can see, it's constantly fighting itself, trying to stay level. Not the end of the world, it's just unnecessary, and I'm sure it's gonna get progressively worse. We better figure that out and address that. My initial thoughts are this linkage here that tells the sensor, hey, when to put pressure to this cylinder or the other cylinder or reduce to the level of sprayer. One of these must be longer than the other, I'm guessing, and it's causing it to fight itself. I'm just looking to see if anything's bent or out of the ordinary here. Actually, you know what? This side isn't even doing it. This side's just fine. If I force it, see, I can manually adjust it just by messing with the sensor there, but something's going on with that other side, so I'll look a little closer. I think I got an idea what's going on. It can't stay in neutral. It can't stay, once it levels itself out, as soon as the switch here tells the system to stop pumping oil in the cylinder, or reduce or pulling oil out, I should say, it automatically starts putting oil in the cylinder, which means one of these cylinders has got blow-by in the seal, and it's putting positive pressure side in the cylinder, causing it to extend up. So it's constantly battling itself. It's trying to push it up, and then it's like, no, 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 come down, push up, go down. So I don't think it's the sensor here, because I was playing at this, and it's just going to go up. So I'm gonna keep running it because I gotta finish spraying today, but I think that cylinder needs taken off, taken to hydraulic shop, and rebuilt. All right, learning stuff. I've been watching this tie rod here, and there is a lot of slop in that ball joint right there. And I think it needs replaced. It'll be fine for now, we'll get through today. But it looks a tremendous lot like the Magnum tie rod ends that I just replaced on our 7140 that the transmission is, well, as far as we know, shot. So, I have an extra set on the shelf that didn't fit on the Magnum. I think it can fit there. I couldn't help it. It's 3 hours till when I'm supposed to eat this. I started eating it early. Oh well. Another issue I've found recently with this Apache is these pins here. These are the main boom pins. They stretch off to the top and the bottom. Well, I think they're getting wore out. One, I'm looking at it and I can see it's starting to egg out the top of this. I can see it's slightly off. But two, when you wing this up and you go to rack it in the transport folder up here, look at the edge of that, hardly gets on there and drops in. Which means when the boom is up in transport, it's hanging down a little more than it should. But I've got the cylinder holding it all the way up. So either that's bent, or that pin there is wore out and there's slop, which is letting it lean forward. I think it's the pin. We'll investigate that too. So, I guess this Apache operation that I'm getting will help me find all the weak points of this machine that needs some addressing. It's due for a little bit of a makeover, kind of like we did to the Brute. We'll get there, but it's gonna finish the work today. We've got work to do, and I need this machine to keep running. Time for some lunch. I'm gonna finish peas today. And it's gonna rain tomorrow, which is perfect because the rain activates the sulfentrazone that I'm applicating to the ground right now at 2.5 ounces per acre at 7.5 gallon work. If that makes any sense. But it works. Stuff works really good. So I'm gonna get to it. That's it. I'm done. Let's head home.